Okay, so today's constellation is going to be done to help someone who wrote a comment about her body looking like a polar bear and not as a woman, and being really I think it was like cry for help. Like it was really touching how she wrote it. So many of us came together, and we see that this resonated, maybe some different aspects, but this resonated deeply with us to look at the dynamics about body, and how we see ourselves, how we relate to food, how we relate to each other. Also, just as women, like how we relate to each other, the skinny versus fat, or young and beautiful versus the ones that are getting older. How can bodies actually divide us? And they can divide us, you know, where we feel, okay, we are being excluded, but they can also protect us where the weight accumulation can be a protection. Hi Lisa, so good to see you. We started the recording so that you know, and so I'm setting up the field, and then you know, one of the women also pulled some amazing cards for today about the curse, which she could access, is connected to objectification, objectifying. And there was also soul retrieval, so I would definitely like to add our soul here. So soul, our body. And someone talked about, we had a little talk about spirit food and versus real food. And how when we are on purpose, sometimes we don't need to use as much of the real food. We are being nourished by being in flow. And then, you know, as women entrepreneurs, like all of us, you know, have to show up in our bodies, and have to also help others. And if it's women, even men, you know, with their self-esteem and how they feel about themselves, how they feel in their skin, how they feel about their body, and how is this affecting us in our results and in our flow, with clients, with money, with partners, all of that. We will put it together somehow today. So the flow, really like the flow with the body and with others, that would be our end result today, our intention to get to. But on the way there, we would like to explore how these things affect each other and how they affect us. So I feel heavy right now. It's just like, kind of like, yeah, I don't even want to move. Just like few things I wanted to add to the recording, really, for those who are going to watch it later. It does happen sometimes that you watch me and you fall asleep and you didn't intend to fall asleep and you didn't feel tired. So it's really part of the energy work. Interestingly, even when I watch them, sometimes I fall asleep. And so for a while I thought like, oh, maybe it's just boring. But I fall asleep at times, like when I'm really interested to find out like, okay, what was it again? You know, and it literally knocks me out. So I noticed that when I rewatch it several more times, it's not happening anymore. So it's just the first time is the strongest. And then as we integrate on a deep level, it doesn't happen anymore. So do not drive watching this, and do not do anything important, like do not, you know, work with some machines that could chop your hands off or something. So okay, so that was another announcement. And I think Was there anything else I wanted to say? I think that's it. Yeah, if you would like to join us, you know, join our group. There will be always a link posted. And so before we start the recording, we share freely, you know, so we do not record that, and then we set up the field and do the process so it can serve everyone who watches afterwards. So this is how we contribute to the collective field and to each other. So, okay, I will switch the camera. And let's get into it. Oh, sadness is in the field. Sadness is in the field. So I think we will use our favorite. So this will represent us as women leaders, as women showing up, as women also business owners, conscious entrepreneurs. And all women really in this case, because I think this will speak to many. So I will put it in the middle. I will put the flow, our end result, as green. I will put it in the front, like that's where we would like to end up, like so flowing with our body, the people around us, with how we feel within ourselves, allowing money come in, love to come in, and allowing our love and our money, our contribution to go out as well. So bring the flow into every area of our life, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about life in general, and how we exchange energies between our body and our higher self or soul, and between others and maybe even our clients, right? And romantic partners, you know, like it's just flow in general with everything in life, like being in flow, in love with everything. So that will be our end result that we would like to get to. Okay, so now I would like to...
I just want to say we can't see the green one because it's out of sight.
Okay, thank you. How fitting.
A little more.
A little more. I can also change the camera a little bit so we have more.
Super.
Yeah. So then I would like to, okay. So I would like to get body. Is orange good for the body?
Brown.
Brown?
Brown.
Okay, we can do brown. Brown for the body.
To represent Earth.
Okay, well, let's have it represent body. Yeah, it could come out as Earth too. And then so I would like to put out one for weight in general. Weight in general. No, I feel suffocating just saying that. Weight in general.
Gray, dark gray, or anything.
Gray. Yeah.
It could be the weight of emotions. It could be the weight of anything,
Wow.
actually.
I want to throw up just saying that. Do you guys feel it?
Yes, it's heavy.
Oh, sorry. I hope I don't throw up. I didn't eat yet, so that's a good thing. I usually don't before the process. It actually wants to touch us, hug us. Wow, I didn't even start. It's already here, you know? Wow. Oh, okay. Whew, okay, that's interesting. I was saging it all up here. Okay. So next is the objectifying. Well, I think we can put them together. Tell me how you feel about it. Like objectifying and comparing and kind of like demanding certain shape of ourselves too, and kind of like checking out others, you know, how they
Yeah.
like all this like critical. I think it could all go together, don't you think? Like it's the
Yeah,
All
like
about judgment.
yeah, like the expected projection, the shiny object or something like that.
so unforgiving, you know, to how people look and all
Yeah,
that. So I think that would be the
judgments on all sides. I mean, it's the projections that we create and the projections that other create and the projections that society creates. It's all one big judgment.
yeah, exactly. So the curse, the judgment, the objectification, the criticism and expectations. Let's what color you guys want for it?
Yellow.
Which one?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay. Oh, I want to throw up again. Oh my god. Oh, it's on top. How interesting. Okay. Okay. And so then I would like how about food? Like material food, and then the spirit food, with the spiritual food, the light, the love.
I'd say green. Green.
Do you like this one, the dark one?
Lighter is no. We've already used light green.
Yeah,
dark green is fine. Forest green.
Or want this forest green? Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's like the tree energy that don't judge. And
Right.
oxygen, if we appreciate it or we don't, it's there. So that's the spiritual food, the energetic food, right?
Is it real food too, like raw food, green food? Is it food in general also, or is it only spiritual food?
It's more like the energetic, I would say. You know,
Okay.
like I think I would go. You know, like how come breatharians can make it without any?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like
Green energy.
There's like no material food for them at all.
Got it.
They of course move through that. Like they move, like they go to raw, then like they go to vegetarianism and then vegan, then fruit,
Right.
and you know, and then eventually you can get there. So just like energetic,
Yeah.
they do like absorb. For example, they do go into sunlight to absorb that nutrition from the light. You know, so definitely don't try to starve yourself. There's way to do it. And then material food, all the nice steaks and sausages,
Orange.
cheese,
Orange or light brown.
and milk. And milk, all the like awesome stuff, the alcohol even, you know, like I can't let go of alcohol because I go out and have fun with friends, right? I'm like, it makes no logical sense to me. Like if you're worse after drinking alcohol, like logically you would stop drinking alcohol. Like you feel like crap next day. Some people don't, but like especially if you do, you know, and then they're like, but I have to do it because it's the tradition. That's what we do. That's what we do. Okay, have your alcohol, have your steak, have the milk,
Orange.
all of that.
Can we have orange for that?
Orange you said? Okay. So the material food. Have the chocolate, Klara. Have the chocolate. So anything material will be taken. So food, substances, you know. I have to take that medicine, right? I have to take that because I have to take that. So the material stuff we are putting into our bodies. Okay. So, oh, okay. Should we have pain? as a separate, the pain, suffering, pain.
No.
No, don't put pain in this one. Okay, let's not put pain then. And how about the looks? Is
Yes.
that part of the curse, or the looks, like the expectations, or is looks
Yes.
different?
Was that not included in the projection
Yeah, I think that's kind
piece?
of included, right? So,
Yeah, the expectations and projections were all included in that.
for you, or would you like it apart?
Well, for me, it's a part because looks is not a judgment.
No, I agree with Stella.
Okay, so have
Looks
it
is
apart.
just looks.
So we are looking at looks as the manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Good.
we don't
So
look, we can't be here.
Yeah, very good. What color would we like to put?
Dark blue.
Dark blue. Okay. Got it. So now I would like to repeat what they are, okay? So this is us as women, and also as women entrepreneurs. Oh, so the projections, do we need others? I think we need others, right? Because that's also...
Yeah, I think.
It's
Do
also
are
an
we-
aspect.
Question: are we included? It's just so many now that I just lost track.
So
Are
let
we
me
included? And
all
also the receiving of ourselves that Stina was talking about, which I think is super important because that's really where the ground is. We
Can
have
you
to
repeat
receive
that?
ourselves.
Can you repeat it, please? Ourselves.
Ourselves and the receiving of ourselves that Stina was talking about.
Self-love, like receiving ourselves.
Stina, you go.
No, I think it's also to be received.
All right.
To be received by others, yeah.
To be the full potential of you in your body. The body holds the full potential of you, and to actually be received. Fully.
Is that not the final one, the final beautiful green which Klara has put? Because that's how we should be. That's the final result, I think. The flow.
Well, that's
So
the
let's see.
flow. That's something different from me.
That's the flow with everyone, but receiving ourselves in the body, right? Receiving ourselves fully in the body. Is it right?
Yes, and also to be received. When you are receiving yourself fully.
Okay, and be received. So I think I can use one for that. Is it okay? This red
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. To be fully embodied.
Yeah, okay, fully embodied. Very good. So we have that one. Okay, so again, let me repeat to see if we are missing anything. So this is us. This is accumulation of weight or weight. Okay. This is I forgot. This is the manifestation, the outward manifestation, the look. This is the flow. This is the material food. This is the spirit food or the energy. The yellow one is I know the brown is body, and the yellow one was the curse, right?
Wasn't that the judgments?
Yeah, the judgments, the curse.
The yellow one was the expectations of others, how we should be.
Yes. Well, also on us, ours is both. So all the kind of objectification of others and ourselves, all the judgments, all the yeah. Okay. So that's that, and then this is the self-love. What we don't have here is others, you know, because we wanted to be in flow with others. We wanted to be received by others, you know. So we have us. So I want to put it out as well. Others. Do you guys like this? This one maybe?
Light blue. Yeah.
Okay. So others. All right.
Okay, Clara, I have received a message from the requester. She's saying she just wants to be thin or love myself the way I am. She's seriously ruining her life and ability to form a relationship with a decent man waiting patiently. And she's ashamed for looking the way she does. So she's like mentioning that. So if
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. Yeah, good. We will include that. We will include that. So in others, you know, their partners, it includes our partners, right? And you know, the feeling ashamed and all that, I think it's part of the yellow that we call
Judgment and
judgment.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think it's ready for me. Yeah. Let's start. What we didn't put is like higher self or soul. I think we should put that
that's
too.
in that spirit food. The spirit food is your higher self.
Okay. Okay, good. So that's fair enough. Okay, then we have it ready. So let's start. Okay, so again, the intention is to come in flow with life, with being received by others, receive ourselves fully, and also heal the curse, remove the curse, look at things lovingly. Okay. So I'm starting on our marker. So this is us. And this is our spirit. So what I feel is it this, like the weight? It's like pulling on me, like pulling me down, kind of hanging on me. A little bit hanging on me, like if I had a lot of children, like if I had 10 children, which I don't, but like that kind of feeling. So maybe some women, you know, need to be heard who had to go through a lot of childbearing, and they would have all these kids like hanging on them, like always needing something. So then instead of being in this state of being with my spirit and calm, like my attention is pulled down there to the needs of the little one. Could be also the ego in this case, so not outside children, but our own ego, the one that is constantly demanding and needing something, and it's whiny and just feels entitled and feels like, okay, I have to pay attention to it constantly. It's constantly needing something. I think it's more the second one. Like it's not the outside children, but more of our own inner child, the one that is still like developing and just needing a lot of attention. And so when I start connecting to it, like, okay, I have to go there and serve it, I feel like right away, like constriction, heaviness, tiredness. I feel like all this toxicity that is like making me tired, like pulling me down. So now it's not the ego anymore. When I'm looking at it, it's now it's more just all the toxicity and the fat and all the, yeah, it's not so much fat, like looking at fat, but it's more of toxic stuff. And more of like a material toxic stuff, like I'm talking about more like all kind of like poisons and toxic material that seeps into us. I'm so disconnected from the body, like the energy is mostly here. And the body is like buried under stuff. So it's like, oh my gosh, it's like layers and layers to go through to really get to that. It's like, wow, it's too much work. I don't even want to go there. I see the blue one now. So the blue one was the looks, the manifestation. I like that. Like that I feel very beautiful. I definitely feel beautiful. Very feminine, beautiful, gentle, loving, but also powerful. Powerful in a way of like a caring mother, not like wrathful, you know, but like a caring mother, like almost like oh, careful, you will hurt yourself, you know. So kind of like aware, like allowing. I'm allowing, but I'm also aware, like, oh, like be more mindful there, or be more aware. And I don't know why I'm looking, I'm looking at the blue one, which was others. So this one is being kind of like of service, like it allows others to be, but it also will react. It will also react kind of like to warn at times, you know. Feels very loving, present, and magical at times. Kind of like, okay, alert, you know, like watch out. Very feminine. I feel so beautiful here. And oh my god, look, and then there is the fat, which it's more of toxins. That's why I'm coughing now. Just like, if I don't pay attention to that, I feel beautiful. I feel expansive. I feel so completely clear. You know, it's just an energy. And things can go through me easily, you know, they just go through me. I don't have to hold on to them. But then when I look at this, the toxins, like they kind of trap me. And then I have to deal with them. Like I have to do something about them. And at times I can completely disconnect, like I don't have to. So it's like I'm going into like being with that, and I feel like I have to do something about it. And then I'm going into states where like, oh, I'm not my body, I'm just really in the spirit. And I feel beautiful. Yeah, in my spirit, I feel beautiful. I'm like, ideal. I'm like everyone's ideal. If you just only could see me, like you would fall in love with me, no matter if you're a man, woman, child, or whoever, like you would just love me. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's go down there. Feels like let's go down to earth. And you said the body is earth too, right? So yeah, it feels like, okay, let's go down to earth now. Oh, okay. It's kind of hard to get to the body through the judgments and through that curse, like expectations. And it's yeah, I don't even know what body is. Like I know what the expectations are, like how things should be and how I like others to look maybe, and what is attractive, what is not. Ugh, I'm getting nauseous now. But I don't really know. I don't really see the body. It's like a shadow behind those expectations. Ugh. And the nausea, the need to want to, or like the wanting to throw up. What is it I want to throw up, really? I think that the judgments, the curse, like that, I just like want to throw it up from deep within. It just feels like bile or something like that, like just like festering in my body. Like I would so like to just bring it out. And it is a little different than this like environmental toxins. It's different. It's like these are coming from outside, like slowly coming in, right? But this thing is inside. It's inside. It's in my womb, it's in my stomach, it's like in my power center. I just want to spit it out. And the food just makes it even like more like go down, like it just piles up on top of that energy, the yellow energy. It's just piling up, somehow like trying to hide it. Like the food is trying to, like the food is in attempt to pile some yummy things or something good on top of these judgments and expectations to kind of cover them up. And it even like cements it in the place now. Like it's because there's so much food piled on top of it, it's even harder now to get rid of it, to spit it out. It's like now there is a wall of food, so now you're safe inside. And then as soon as that starts kind of like speaking up a little bit, like a little voice, it's interesting when I'm standing on it, is a little bit similar energy as I had showing up when I first looked at the fat, like the egoic voice, like the demanding, like entitled child. So it's like, hey, pay attention to me. And here actually the food is putting a wall on top, like, you know, like it's making the voice disappear. It's putting a big pile of stuff on top, so I don't hear that voice. That voice is also it's not necessarily like it's whiny also, you know, but I don't want to pay attention to it. I just say, like, just shut up already. I don't have much compassion with it, and that's why I'm piling the food on top of it. So here, you know, I think it's more the voice of the inner child that we avoid by and we don't listen to them, and we just pile more food on top so that we don't have to pay attention to it. Interesting. So the curse and the inner child, the curse, the projections, the criticism and expectations are actually connected to the inner child. So let's look at the body, because I didn't connect to it at all yet. So I will put it out here so we can explore it a little bit. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going wow for myself, and you guys don't know what's going on. So, you know, the Taurus has been coming, or the Taurus has been coming up a lot lately in constellations. Whenever I speak about this, like, energy that is just flowing, it's like an energetic body. It's like an organic computer or energetic body, like a energy energy source. It like energy generator. It constantly flows, and it goes like boom, 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 which reminds me a little bit to the heartbeat of Earth that you were talking about as well. Well, I think it was Sari who said right away that our bodies are also like our Mother Earth, and it's like hearing the Schumann frequency of the Earth. There's this like humming, kind of like boom, 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 boom. And the reason why it hums is because it's like an energy generator. It's just like an organic computer just running on its own. It's full of energy, and it's constantly exchanging information, constantly accessing information and also processing information, like really like a supercomputer. Just how it feels like. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. It's interesting because it doesn't really care much about anything there. It's automatic. The energy flow is automatic. It's also like a particle of the universe. It's a part of the universe, an elemental part. And it would kind of like look like everyone else. You know, just like the universal particle, like the thorit, right? Or you can imagine like atom structures in a way. It's the same thing, but they're more 3D. So this one is more multidimensional, and the energy is flowing. It's in movement, constant movement, constant flow actually. It's much more energy flow than it is material. Huh. So now when we put this one here, the judgments, expectations, what we call the curse, and what also shows up as the inner child that has its needs and is trying to communicate them. But is silenced by the food. So as soon as I do this, I become a little more material. A little more materialization happens. But still kind of like very, very light. Like, I'm trying to figure out how they connect here. It's not even connected yet. So there is a little bit materialization, like you can start seeing some shapes as a person, shapes of like a human, a person. Well, I see a woman, so maybe, you know, this is all about women right now. But so it's trying to communicate like how this is. Like, hey, you know, like, it's trying to communicate something. Like the voice that I'm hearing from the yellow is like, I'm alone, like I'm scared, I'm here alone. Like somebody help, you know? I don't know who is it towards, like somebody help, like what is it that we expect some kind of like loving embrace. And it doesn't really matter from whom, like it's not necessarily mother or, yes, you just like, we feel alone here. Like that voice feels alone and scared, like, wow, it's like I'm in this shape, in this vehicle, or in this, I don't know, like I'm maybe making it up a little bit now. What comes to me is like a spaceship, right? So try to get the symbol that makes sense later. So I'm in here alone, and it's scary. It's dark. It's scary. And so then when we add the food, it's almost like, well, you know, like, don't be afraid. Like, you are going to be able to see yourself more. So it will become even more material. Like the shapes will start coming out. So we start adding food. And so the shapes start coming out. And so the little one that was scared starts seeing itself like, oh, look at that. Like, oh, okay, more materialization. Less scared, like it's less darkness. It's less unknown. It's more material, like it's easier to deal with now. It's like, it's not so scary. I can see it now. And I can feel it now too. So like, oh, okay, here I am. I don't feel like when I'm standing like this, again, I don't feel that energy, the Taurus going. Like once I had some food in, you know, and I see myself like that boom, boom is like automatic. I don't necessarily connect to that. I just assume it's there when I need it. Like it's just, yeah, I'm like entitled to it, or I'm entitled to it. Like it's there. It's there, and I expect it to be working properly, to be boom, pumping energy properly. It's like, of course, you should do that, you know? I'm still so disconnected. Like this part is so disconnected. That part was disconnected, and this part is disconnected. So there's this spirit and the beauty, like the beautiful look, like the total like belief in the magicalness of us. And then there's the, what we said, like the weight and the fat, but it's really more pollution, toxins that start somehow affecting this. And then there is the body as this energy source. And then the little voice that was scared, and it's becoming more material the more we eat, and it can see itself, and it's less scared. But there is like no movement here. I need to wait a little bit to see what movement wants to happen, because there is like complete separation. Like this one doesn't communicate with that one. They're just doing their own thing. Almost like two different experiences. So this one is kind of like trying to stay connected and trying to disperse this toxins, you know, not pay attention to it, not let it like distract, not let that gray distract me from this connection, and like feeling so good and present and all that. And then there is this one that is busy to, that has this amazing energetic vehicle that is perfect. It's like, it's forever energy. But this one is like busy with becoming more material, and so it's piling food, and as it's doing it, it's being more busy here with the material, like, oh, look, you know, and then like, wow, look at the world. And it's kind of seeing others doing that too. It's like, cool, we all do that, and we are materializing more and more stuff. Yeah, and there's this obsession with that look, more with the look of others too, like the looks. Not so much, I don't know if it's so much judgment, it's more obsession with that. I didn't tap into that criticalness of it and expectations yet. It's more like, you know, like when kids in kindergarten are building a structure and you look at your Legos, what you are building and what they are building, and it's kind of like this obsession with that, like, what are you building? Oh, what am I building here? And then kind of comparing maybe that a little bit, but obsessed with the look. Kind of like trapped in the look and not seeing the essence, not seeing beyond that. It's so disconnected. Okay, let me see that now. I feel a little bit of sadness now. I think it was coming maybe from the red. So this was the self-love dropping in, and also so accepting ourselves, like receiving ourselves and being received by others too. And it's, yeah, that one moved out here now. And this one is sad. I'm sorry, this wasn't constellation. I think this was Klara. I want to invite this part first. Us, the spirit food, and the looks, the manifestation. So this manifestation kind of turned out to be the inner image, the inner manifestation, not the outer one. Like the inner manifestation, like, oh, I'm so beautiful. Everyone would fall in love with me. It's like people, animals, anyone. Children, men, women. So I'm bringing it over here. So that's, yeah, it's like this self-acceptance, kind of accepting of this, like of the spirit, accepting of the inner beauty, of the inner awareness, of the power of this like presence that is loving. Like get in touch with that first, like we have that, it is us. It always has been, it's actually unchangeable. Like that's the part that never really changes. This part never changes. There is a little bit of individuality too. Like, I think that this part in me may be a little bit different from someone else. So in essence, like the love stays, the self-love stays, the being able to be fully present stays, being able to be loving and aware and, you know, at times like warm others, that is same for everyone, but there is a little bit of individuality within that, like a little bit of my special essence, like my part, my purpose also. There's a little bit like difference, even though like we are made of the same, there's a certain tiny bit of individuality. But it's very minor, and it's something that I really have to just be aware of. Otherwise, in this state, when I'm so connected, I don't perceive it much. So I really have to put my attention, like, I can perceive everything is same, everything is together. But then when I go like, are we really all like same? It's not. Like, we are particles of together of something larger. but there's also this holographic thing, like we are also individual parts, and we have some individual parts. And the individual parts, in a way, is that yellow thing too. And I don't want to listen to it right now. See, like, I'm going like this because I'm just like, ugh. I do not want to look at the yellow one. This is impatience, I think, what's happening here. And then I go like, okay, so I was supposedly like loving with everything, you know, but then like dealing with the yellow and with the brown and with the orange, no. I don't want to. Okay, so I will have to. So I'm coming here, I'm kicking this out. Yeah, I don't want to go there. It's annoying. It's so toxic and tiring. It's like the vibration goes down completely. I much rather remain here. It's clean, it's crisp, it's a lot of energy. It's even like movement, like this. And I'm okay with others. Like, this is great. This is great. I don't want to go there. Like, I want to avoid it. I don't want to be trapped in there. So it feels like when I go there, I will become the yellow, whiny one that has some needs and is scared and wants help and starts putting food on top. Oh my God, I don't want to go. I'm getting more emotional now. Oh my gosh, I don't want to go there. I feel like when I go there, it's also like I will have to deal with a ton of emotions. It's just like emotions galore. Like, you're going into a place where everyone is like wailing, whining. Want something of you, like this entitlement paradigm. I don't want to go there. And I will become helpless, like I will become the yellow at first. I will become little and needy myself and scared. Ah. I don't want to go. Okay, I will get over myself here. Okay, you have to do this and have a whole day. Do I need to mute? Yeah. Hi, Ola. I had to mute you. Okay. Okay, so I'm going there to embrace the body and the toxins and all the food. And my own, my own weakness and fear and neediness and so now it's very hard because everything is together. It's very hard to differentiate what is what. So it's all like one blur. Very uncomfortable. So I will well, dealing with everything at once. So I will take like each part out one by one to see if it can be organized in a way where it's easier and it's not all one big mess. Okay, so I'm going to take out the body first. And I want to tell my body, you know, like looking at this as this supercomputer and super power generator that I have been feeling entitled to, and I wasn't really appreciating it for the immense job it's doing for me. It's constantly processing tons and tons of information and filtering what I can take at the moment as I am growing in this vehicle. So it's trying not to overwhelm me. So I just want to see, I see you both. I see the one that is scared and feels lonely and starts putting on weight to experience itself more, to see itself more. So I will do this self-love, this acceptance. So from this perspective, this acceptance makes the vehicle, the computer, also more aware, to be more loving, more like to embrace this one, connect with it more. Like it's running so many things that it somehow forgot to take care of this one, pay attention to it. Yeah, when that happens, then, you know, we don't have to be like piling, you know, stuff to silence it, but you can, you know, you can do it more mindfully. Like, okay, how do you like this one? You know, how do you like that? Like, give me some feedback about that. I will not just like automatically pile on you to shut you down. So there's like more, like I give you a little bit and there's feedback. If you don't want any more of that, I don't give you any more. What's next? Yeah, the pollution thing is like, just be aware of it and just try to keep it out. Because it's like it will start to attack the vehicle, the body, like it's like it starts rusting, rusting it somehow, or you know, putting some holes in the mechanics, kind of like eat it apart. So try to stay away from that. So more aware, like do, you know, as much as you can, try to keep it out. So this self-acceptance and being accepted by others, I think that it was the spirit that was speaking, or that is doing these changes, like paying more attention to the little one, or the higher self now, kind of like dropping in and paying attention to this one, not being like so much in this, like always seeing the big picture and, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm so loving, I'm all inclusive, but it doesn't want to look at times like at this part here, which I don't know if it's true. So symbolically, like, let's try to figure it out. But it almost felt like it didn't want to deal with that at the beginning, right? So now it's willing to drop down and look at it like, okay, it's like this inner child that has its needs, and I need to pay more attention, otherwise it will be hidden. Yeah, so now this looks, right, like this materialization is how we speak lovingly to ourselves, how we see ourselves, and we allow the little one, the one that is scared, to connect with this, like lovingly embracing our spirit, but also including the little inner child, the one that demands and it's scared and projects. So something about these looks and materialization is first being loving to that one, to lovingly and beautifully embrace that one, which will then be able to manifest in how we use this, how we keep this out, and also something else. Don't know yet. Like how we But what was the first thing that came? Is like how we sculpt ourselves, or how we... Yeah. So remember when I was talking about the Legos, like there were two children and they were playing with Legos, and I was like looking, how did you build that and how I am building it? So with more like self-love and paying attention to the inner child, the one that has been scared and shocked by getting into this vehicle on its own at first. By lovingly embracing it and kind of like getting feedback with it, from it, and just giving it what it needs and not what it doesn't, what is not good for it, we are helping it to sculpt. Sculpt or like morph. And the more beautiful we can see it inside, they're like, remember like when I first started, the beautiful, like, oh, everyone would fall in love with me. Everyone would fall in love with me. Animals, children, women, men, you know, like if we hold the little one, like kind of like make sure like it gets the message, you are always loved. Like you thought for a moment that you were alone and scared and lonely, but you are always loved and you are beautiful, and there's always, like, we are always with you. If we can transmit this message to this one, and it will, like, it's harder the more it has been piled upon, right? It's harder to access it. The more it was piled up unconsciously. So it will take some, you know, like undoing of layers to get to it finally. And so we get to that first, like to that yellow one, to the inner child, to the one that projects and criticizes and demands. But when we get to it and we start communicating how much it is loved and how we know that its essence is so beautiful, and we encourage it to be more mindful, like how it treats what it demands, right? Like how the things are going in, like it needs to become more mindful. We need to become more aware, and especially like, hey, you are so lucky, like you have this energetic body, this supercomputer, it's constantly giving you some information, and it's constant, like it doesn't run out of batteries if you are like if you're aware of it and you treat it well, you're thankful to it instead of being scared of it and ignoring it. Instead of like embrace it and allow it to take care of you, and you know, allow it. It brings you all the information you need if you pay attention, if you calm down. So now I'm looking at others. And it's the same level of compassion that I need to be giving to my little yellow one. It's the same level of compassion I want to give to them. It's just make them aware. Like, if there was a way, and it's not easy because of that pile, you guys. But if I could only facilitate them to see like what happened today and what's really needed for the inner beauty, inner beautiful essence to manifest the way they want it to manifest as well. And to see, you know, we are all one, we are all in this together. And use this as moderation. Like, use it as an experience, but do not pile it out. It comes in to be experienced and it goes out, right? So maybe like only use as much as you can also purge out again. Otherwise it will start piling up and you will get less and less sense of your senses. Those clear senses, like those spiritual senses. You will get more of the material though, like, wow, look at those those things I'm building. So this needs to be used just for experience, for fun, in and out, in and out. And this needs to be kept like out as much as we can. Eventually it will take over, but it seems like we can take it, we can keep it out for a while. Maybe with the age it will start taking over, and it's not so easy to keep it out anymore. Yeah, I think it comes into it's a necessary, or it's a natural force that will eventually disintegrate the whole body, the whole creation. It's like when when the play date is over, we take the Legos apart again. So that's the thing that eventually will come and take our Legos apart again. So it's all good too. It's like we don't have to be afraid of it. Just keep it out as much as you can. Eventually it will come to take the Legos apart. And then in that case, like this one will come out, the spirit, right? And these things will disintegrate. I don't know about the flow yet. So far these are kind of like integrated, but there is no flow. I have the same resistance or similar resistance as before. I don't want to go there. Okay, flow. How do we bring flow with everything, like the self-love, giving love, receiving energy, giving energy, receiving money, giving money, being received by others lovingly, receiving others lovingly. How can we bring that flow in? It's when I look at the body. So I look at the body, I look at us, I look at this voice, I look at the spirit, I add the acceptance, self-acceptance and acceptance. It's actually under the pink. Self-acceptance and accepting of others and being accepted by others or received by others. That goes underneath us. Embracing this little one that gets scared at times, feels alone. Body, something about appreciating it. Appreciate the body and appreciate the spirit. So it's like this. So these are the manifestations, or this is our creation. I don't think it's just looks. I think the looks or the manifestation is just part of it. It's really also like what we, it's also our service. It's also our product. It's also what we create, what we build, what we, how we contribute. It has, it's not so much the outer look as what's coming through. It's like its outer look aligned with the message, aligned with the love, aligned with the essence. It's right here. It's the outer look also to satisfy the inner child that is not scared, not lonely, not freaked out. Like it's kind of to also reward it. So whatever is like, yeah, okay, we build the Lego structure for you so that, you know, that you can see you're not alone. Like this is, you know, it's just we are growing here together or something. Like we are in the in the interaction here. So the flow now goes here. So it's body, spirit. So being aware that the body is like generating, is the supercomputer constantly having feedback from on so many levels, like it's a supercomputer, and being thankful that it has energy no matter what. Then we have the spirit, the one that is like so present and so beautiful and so aware and so loving and all-inclusive. And then we have our self-acceptance, our self-love, acceptance that we stand on. And when we do that, we can embrace the little one, the one that is scared at times. And sometimes it whines and demands and becomes annoying. And then we do stuff unconsciously. But when we become more conscious and more connected to it, like then also the creation, it doesn't have to be like a big thing. It doesn't have to be like clunk, like a big thing. But the manifestation is like this essence coming through. This essence coming through. And it's beautiful. And it's unique. And it's not so much about the outer appearance as it is for the essence to come through. And the essence of self-love and self-acceptation and being, like really caring for our needs. That's what that really is. And it will be beautiful in many different ways. There is no standard to that. The standard is the self-love, self-acceptance, and taking care of the inner child, paying attention to it. And then this comes in as well. So this can then interact. This is others. And this is the food that needs to come in and out. And eventually, this is going to disintegrate everything. It's okay too. And I have this crazy shape now. I think that's it. I will take a picture for you of that shape. I don't know if you can see it. We'll post it. Okay. That was a little out there. Who would like to share what you realized or what you got?
Well, I will share. This is Joanne. What I saw at the very end was that looks like an angel to me with wings, an angel with wings. And you were saying our essence, our self-love, it's all about our essence. It doesn't necessarily make a difference, maybe how old we are, how young we are, how whatever we are. It's just really our essence and having that put into all of our products, services, and just who we are is going out into the world, and then people are receiving that. But that shape looked like an angel. Like we are all angels with wings. That's what it looked like to me.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel now about, like, if you think about that separation between the young women and the old women, like, how do you see it now? Has anything shifted how you look at that?
Well, it was a little bit, it it was a little bit confusing because I kept like looking away and trying to see, like looking further down there and saying, is that dark blue? Is that royal blue? Is that brown? I was like mixing up the colors or something because I didn't see them as well as like, but when you held it up to light, I could see it was royal blue. So how, is it different now? You made a point about the inner child, and it's like the ego in that. And I mean, we can be in our ego at any age. You know, it doesn't have to be young versus old.
Yeah, we all always have it. It's always
Yeah,
there.
it's always a part of us. It's kind of, is it caring or not caring, or talk about compassionate, whatever. It's do I feel a separation? I think yes, still I still see it as a separation somehow, because even women in age groups of 50 to 60, like I don't feel myself, like I was at this conscious church over on Sunday. There were lots of 60-year-olds there, okay, 70-year-olds. I don't feel like I'm a part of that group. I feel like I'm more like 40s and 50-year-old in my mind, in my body.
Yeah.
My age
You
doesn't.
You know what? I think that maybe it has to do with you doing a lot of self work always, you know.
Yes.
So because somehow like that keeps you more clean. Like it almost seems like it helps to keep those toxins that will come and disintegrate out.
Yes.
So that the more you look for that inner child, which you do, you know, the more you are connected to the energetics of your body, you know, like not completely ignoring it, like piling it,
right,
you know, shut it up, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's why, because then the age is really more about like doing that kind of work.
Yes.
And keeping the toxins out as long as you can, and also being more aware with the foods.
Yes.
So the less aware you get, the more it will just slow you down, because it was like piling up, like putting like a wall and heaviness, you know.
Yes. And
so,
you know, sorry, you weren't finished.
No, it's fine. But the other thing is, but you know, it ain't 20 anymore, you know. Like we have to, there was also this like, okay, we also have to accept that the bodies will go eventually.
Yes. When you very first started, I mean, I did feel that serious heaviness, and you said, oh, you were going to throw up, and I was feeling that too. And I can also say, you know, it's like conscious people and not as conscious. And then there's all these other emotional things, like we eat because of our stress. And I mean, it all makes perfect sense. But then we come back to, oh, we make another choice, and then we can drop the weight, and we decide, okay, I'm going to go take a walk instead of eat a piece of cake. You know, it's like there's choices. So conscious choices.
Yeah, remember when I was like wanting to throw up and stuff? I wanted to throw up that you know, like I called it the curse, the judgments, and also the inner child.
Yeah.
So that would be like the ultimate ignoring it and refusing to listen to it and reject it. And that thing, like that inner child energy, is the one that is so scared and feels lonely, and it needs to reconnect and see like, okay, I'm not alone, I'm being loved.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the throwing up was like really trying to completely reject it, like get out of here, you know? So now that I remember the beginning, that's why it's good to go back and watch the beginning again.
Yes.
To connect it, but it was little like out there today.
Well, it's I don't know why the color thing, I was like, there were so many blues or so many this or whatever. It was like I was like confused of what color was what color. Then I had to get back and read the description and see which one was which. I don't know what that was about, but I'm going to relook.
And there was for a while, remember, it was all like a blur, like one big like.
Totally a blob. Yeah. I rarely get confused with the colors, but today it was like, I don't know. I felt like I wanted to change the colors, or I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't want to deal with, like, did you see me? Like, I didn't even want to do the work. I was like,
Yes.
okay, I don't want to
Yes.
go there.
Yeah.
Like, so much rejection.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I'll revisit it. I'll look at it again. It was but at the end we're all one, and it's just our essence, etc. And I just see it as we're all angels. That's what I got from the general of it.
Yeah, I will post a picture. I don't know how to do it on here, but I will in the group later.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Awesome.
It was
Okay.
good.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, anyone else? Sorry, did you want to speak?
Hey, yes, I think I was very heavy in the starting. I almost felt like throwing up. It was so heavy that I just actually stood up and went to the washroom. And I was just wondering how you were like standing there and doing it. It felt like a lot of uh, lot of sabotage energy in some way or the other being thrown at the body and earth. And I had an epiphany, and I was actually taking notes where I would just want to read it out. It felt like you know when you were talking about the torus field, around the earth and the human frequency, I strongly had this thought coming in me that the earth and body are related. In any case, I did mention that. It just came to me for some reason. And are we trying to sabotage Mother Earth also by planting concrete jungles, and removing the natural direct source of energy, so if you relate
Yeah, it's
this,
similar.
the junk,
Similar, like piling the food with like mindlessly. It's similar. It's like
yeah,
not
the
listening
pollution,
to the call, not listening
yeah,
to the call of for help.
yeah. So I was actually correlating it very much. I mean, I was not even thinking it consciously. It was just flashing before my eyes that it's the same way that you have that pollution and cutting of jungles and everything which is happening to Mother Earth, and that's exactly what we're doing to our bodies. We're not taking care of it. We're not eating the actual nutrients. We're actually going towards the colas or whatever, whatever that food is, which is so called not right, and I felt that. And then I think Mother Earth, like I have mentioned, I have written here as a note, like, when you had that feeling of looking disconnected, so I think I was writing that the comforts make us feel the wannabe look, the external look wants us to make feel that, hey, even if we are cutting the jungles, we're having lavish houses. So similarly, even if we are not doing the inner work, we are not taking care of our body, perhaps we are diverting our minds, are diverting ourselves by that exterior so-called beautification, so ideally it should be both inner and outer beauty, so that's what came to me. And then I think when you talked about keeping the junk food out, I felt it as a message of consciously keeping the pollution also out. And I mean, there's lots. So but
Yeah,
yes,
but we also,
I couldn't see the
it's
picture in the last, but
like the pollution also has its function at the end. Like that was interesting too. Like it wasn't, like consciously like keep it out, but eventually it will take over, and it's okay.
yeah, we try to justify, that we are what do you say, I'm not getting the right word, we are depleting Mother Earth of its natural resources uh, by building houses and stuff, but we have to replenish the earth by giving it the right nutrients and taking care of it. Similarly, we
the
need
more
to
we
take
do
care of our
that,
bodies.
the more we do that, the longer we will live.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why I'm correlating it, but it was coming as a very, very strong message to me today.
Very. Yeah, the longer we can, because like that was like the toxins kind of, it was also like aging, like okay, and then everything disintegrates, but you can keep it out longer with the mindfulness and with
Yeah.
self-love. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Who
thank
else would like to connect? Let's see. Ola, she's at work probably. Stina, did you want to say something about the receiving yourself and being received by others? Did you get any insight there? No, she is busy. Oh, she is. Okay. wait, you're still mute.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it was very powerful when you had, you were in the corner and you had the dark blue and the receiving being received, and you said it was sad. That was very powerful for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and then connected to the inner child, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And something, how do you say, loosened up for me. So I think it's also to allow to be received. There was something in combination of that
Mm-hmm.
for me during that process.
Yes. Okay, great, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for your contribution today. It was
Thank
good.
you.
It definitely belonged in the process. Anyone else would like to contribute with what has shifted, what you have seen, what triggered you? Yeah. Janine? Oh, wait.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
You're good. Yeah. So regarding the curse.
You know, the curse didn't come up for me at all, but what I was surprised by and then charmed by was the disconnect from the inner child and the body and the spirit. And when you were saying the inner child was like you were watching little kids build with Legos, and what struck me is, you know how when little kids do art and they come running to you and they're like, look at this beautiful thing I made, and in their own little bubble it's a masterpiece, until someone externally comes along, usually an older brother or sister, and goes, oh my God, that's ugly. And then they crumple it up, they're ashamed, and they want to throw it away. And that's what the inner child reminded me of in the body, that instead of being proud of what it had built, because it was the inner child, you kept touching your body, in the body, building the body, until spirit came in and said, no, what you've done is beautiful, until you connected them again. So that's what touched me. I was like, oh, we built these fabulous bodies that you kept reminding us how powerful they are. Yet the inner child was the one rejecting that. That's the sense I had, until we could connect spirit to come in, which knows it's beautiful, and say, oh, no, what you've built is beautiful. So for what it's worth, that's what.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Janine.
That's what
You're
I got.
So awesome. Yeah, thank you. You're so good how you put things together always. I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and thank everybody.
Thank you, dear. Okay. Stella.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed like 20 minutes because I had guests coming that had to receive and introduce stuff. But one thing that I was thinking of before, so I know there was a lot of stuff going on in some ways addressing this, but this thing of spirit food and like soul nourishment, and the idea that not eating is higher and more valuable than eating. I met what are they called? Luftarianer, those who like eat energy, whatever. The interesting thing is that that was not true. She did eat. I have never met anyone who actually has not eaten. And I thought that was interesting that she called herself this, luftarian in Swedish. But she still ate. And I said, I don't get that. And I said, I only eat, when I eat, I only eat what I desire to eat. And I said, I only eat what I desire to eat. There is no other way. Why should I eat anything else? So what I want to say with is that I think it's important that we stop denying the body's capacity to enjoy what it is. Yeah. Taste buds is a part of the body. Experience. And right, and like as for those that have like watched my experience before, and this like orgasmic thing that we have like gasms, we have like orgasms, we have food gasms, we have like sight gasms, eargasms, and let this magnificent being that you are actually enjoy all those gasms, which includes eating good stuff. As my body reacts, I said, I don't want to eat this because it doesn't taste, it's not good for me. It's like, she knows. So the denial of pleasure, I think, is a huge, thank you, sorry. It's a huge problem. And we've had the denial of sexuality, and we had the denial of music, we've had the denial of all kinds of pleasure, and that we have to like recharge ourselves with pleasure. And it's, in my world, very, very female oriented, so that the womanly energy, the female energy has been like poisoned with, everything that's pleasurable is our fault. It's bad, like in a religious context, and that it's like it's necessary for us to like regain that and turn all that spiritual vibration and into a physical experience, because tantra is tantra, and that is a spiritual exercise within the sexual realm. Yeah. So that is just what I wanted to add, and then I want to see the rest of it, because it sounds like I missed some lovely things.
You missed some resistance. I didn't want to go there. I was just like taking time until I was able to even go there. But just to clarify, no, it's not better not to eat. It's just like what I got from this. It's not necessarily needed, okay? Like there's energy no matter what. However, the food and everything, like doing it mindfully, like that's what we came for. Like we came for experiencing it, and it's one way to communicate with that inner child and to make it feel it's being seen and it's being appreciated. I can give you some of it, but if we do it mindfully, even like alcohol or whatever, like everything, like if we do it mindfully and we get the feedback, right, and it's doing in this appreciative form, instead of like at the beginning there was the piling up, just a boom, 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 then that doesn't work. It will just completely suffocate the inner child, and like it will be under the pile of stuff. It's so much harder to access it then. So I just wanted to clarify, it's definitely not better, and it's not about denying the food, because you couldn't get to that state by just starving. You will die. So it's like completely like different process to get to that level. And I honestly don't know anyone personally, so I don't know if it's a myth either, so it's just something I would like to touch to see, because I just get interested in things that are kind of like, oh wow, what I didn't know it could be, right? So I just get interested, and maybe it's not, maybe they are really miserable. But
just to add here, Klara, there's a man in India. He has lived off only liquids and solar energy for 11 years. Can you imagine? So, and he's very healthy.
Yeah, but
It's almost like, you know,
yeah,
it's almost like human beings doing photosynthesis, like plants. You're absorbing solar energy and converting it into the meaningful form of energy which you can use by the body. And
yeah.
I loved what Stella said about all the pleasures, all the all the various forms of pleasures and all the orgasmic ways of feeling them. Perhaps, you know, we feel that, or perhaps it's so-called societal, that, you know, having or feeling pleasures, having or eating a chocolate or an ice cream, who put it in our mind that, you know, you shouldn't eat an ice cream or a chocolate, right? I
Oh,
mean, it will
yes,
make you fat.
we are
it,
building
it
up.
gives us, yeah, it's all related to the sacred hormones, right? I mean, you feel a certain way because of a certain hormone being secreted in the body, and we deny our body all those pleasures.
Yeah.
And
But remember, like there was this separation when the spirit was just in its world. It didn't need anything, you know. But then there was body, and there was the inner child, and then there was food, and those two were separate, you know. So
mhm.
I, yeah, it's just the experience for the spirit, which the spirit shouldn't deny. Like it was almost, I don't know, you know, like I think spirit shouldn't be judgmental. Like I judge spirit that it shouldn't be judgmental. And it appeared a little bit as judgmental, like I don't even want to go there into the body and food, you know. And that's kind of also, I don't know, it's also dissociating really from the 3D. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I did feel it. I mean, I think that was a very powerful moment when you had that connection or that understanding or trying to understand between the spirit and body. You know, we have a purpose why we come into the physical form, and there is a reason why there is a rejection, or for whatever reason, those memories of being alone or abandoned or whatsoever reason. I mean, so that was a very powerful moment for me also. I think I forgot to mention that, but for whatever reasons, we have felt that, you know, being in the physical body means you would have to go through those denial phases. You would have to uh, take all that so-called stuff being thrown at you. That was, I think, very powerful.
yeah, yeah. Great. Oh, Stella, were you done, or was there something else I interrupted? Was there
No,
something else?
I think I was done. Yeah, but yes, I did think about because earlier today it came to me that your body is your spiritual vehicle, and I think that was like covered here while I was away. So I thought that was nice synchronicity.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see. Anyone else? Rita, did you want to add anything? No. Okay. So I think
I'll add it in the comments later.
Okay, in the comments in the group, because
Yeah.
this will disappear. Okay, let me see. Oh, Jan talked about someone who lived in a hot climate and lived off light for a few years. Yeah, and the man for 11 years. Very good. No, it's everything is good. Like these are great additions, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so then let's complete for today. Thank you so much. I will watch again because, you know, it was again nothing like I would have expected. So I want to integrate and go through it a few more times to see like how it's all getting together. And yeah, if anyone feels tired after this, you know, go outside, go in the sun, you know, touch a tree, or listen to the Tibetan bowls. They help to process the energy as well. So thank you so much for showing up, for contributing, and I hope this serves to Maya, who started this. I would love to hear from her as well, like how this worked for her. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.